Alright, so today I'm going to show you how Midjourney works and how you can use some very specific prompts to create really cool AI art. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. For those of you who have never used Midjourney, the installation is very simple. First, you need to install Discord. Then you need to create your account on Discord. Go to midjourney.com and click that button that says join the beta. It will open a new tab and you have to accept their invite. It will add you to the Midjourney server on Discord. If you look in the left side, there's this thing called rooms. You will find this word called newbies. So each of these newbies is a room where you can put in a prompt. To put a prompt in the chat section, type /imagine and write anything you want. You're gonna find thousands of people writing their prompts here and you can see their results. But there's another way to bring Midjourney in your own personal servers, and that is the technique that I'm going to use today. So you can create your own server by clicking on plus on the left side, name anything you want, and then go back to Midjourney, click on that member list icon on the top, click on the Midjourney bot, click on add to server and select your own server, and now Midjourney is going to be available in your own private server. You don't have to go through that clutter and chaos of everybody else flooding the chat section. So now I have my own private server in front of me and we will see how I will use small tips and tricks to make really cool images. So let's just start with something very simple. If I type imagine and let's just say a red donut, this is going to be a very simple prompt, right? And once I start giving the prompt, you'll realize that there's this word called fast. So by default, Midjourney is working on its fast settings. When you use fast, you use more credits. So I have the pro plan right now. In the free plan, you get around 25 images, but in the pro plan, you have more credits. If you don't want to exhaust your credits quickly, if I click /relax, it will switch to relax mode. Here, I might not exhaust too many of my credits quickly, and it does not consume fast hours but might take a little longer, and you can always switch back by clicking fast. So I'm just going to go back to fast just for this video, sorry. And our donut is also ready. So by default, this is how our donut looks like, right? Like it looks pretty good, even though the prompt was super simple. Now let's first discuss aspect ratio. By default, Midjourney is going to give you square images, but if I copy this prompt again, copy /imagine a red donut --AR 2:3. Now it's going to give me a tall image. Now this is how the ratio works. This 2:3 is basically width is to height. So my width is 2x and my height is 3x. So now when I get a new result, I'm going to get a longer height. Currently we're using Midjourney version 4, so you can't have really long 16:9 or 9:16 images. If you want to do that, I think you have to use version 3, but for now we'll stick with version 4. So if you want to use version 3, what you can do is put your prompt and type /imagine -v3. When you type v3, you will get results from the third version of Midjourney bot, but v4 is the latest one, so we'll stick to that. Even if I press v3, we'll see how different it looks. And now we've also received our 2:3 results. So notice how the images are taller now, and it in fact has changed the way the donut looks like. And in parallel, we can see how our version 3 is rendering the donut. So you'll realize that the version 3 donut does not look that real, and the version 4 donut looks way better. Like it has way more detail. So yeah, let this render. So this is an image that we get when we just type a lion. Now we're going to use Stylize. So if I go imagine a lion --S stands for Stylize. By default, the value is at I think 625. In version 4, I think it can go till 1000. So let's just keep it at 1, 2, 3. So let's just say that I want to make a scenery, but I don't want any trees in that scenery. So by default, if I give a prompt of an outdoor green scenery, oh, our stylized lion is also here and it looks pretty much the same. There's not very big difference between the normal one and the new one. I feel like the new one just has like more glow and has more detail around the fur. But yeah, if I write an outdoor green scenery, by default, it's going to show me clouds and trees. Now, if I want to exclude a certain section of the scenery, let's just say that I don't want any trees, I can use the no command. So I will type imagine an outdoor green scenery dash dash no, and then we will write no trees. Yeah, let's just have it at no trees. So now it's going to render an image without any trees. It's almost there. And this time, instead of a tree, I think it has put a house, which is very, very creative, because if you want to show an outdoor scenery and just fill space, uh, okay, so now we have this image where you don't have as many trees as we had before. This was the original result, but now it has sort of given more emphasis to some sort of a monument in the middle. Next, I'm going to give you some keywords that I regularly use, right? So if I'm writing, let's just say, let's just type a sports car in on the surface of Mars. This is going to be our default prompt. Now, if I write the words 3D, hyper realistic, and lifelike, your renders are going to look 10 times cooler. So I'm just going to take the same command, copy it, /imagine, write comma, 3D, hyper realistic, lifelike, and even detailed, right? And now when I do it, you will see the difference. So we have both of these images generating. So I can see some very cool futuristic looking car on the surface of moon. So this is what it has rendered, and it has sort of assumed that it's going to be some sort of a space station sort of a thing. So we have that here. Now you will see the difference when I've added the words 3D, hyper realistic, lifelike, and detailed, right? Because this is where things become very interesting. You can add small words and give these prompts to Midjourney, and then we'll also discuss how we can use weights, where you can say that give more emphasis to a specific parameter, but we'll get to that in a while. Oh dude, look at this, look at the detail on the left one. So if I click on U1, it will give me an upscaled render of that image. So if there are these 4 images, this is U1, U2, U3 and U4. If I click on V1, it will create more variations of the first image itself. So I'm just going to create like an upscaled version of U1, and you will see how detailed it is. Alright, so you can see the difference it makes, right? So this is when I've added the 3D hyper realistic filter, and this is what I had received in the beginning. This looked lifelike, but this looks like a really high budget 3D render. Now I regularly use these specific filters, 3D, hyper realistic, lifelike and detailed, right? But typing them might get monotonous again and again. So there's this command called prefer option set. What I can do is that I can tell Midjourney that these few keywords can actually be used by just triggering this one single word. So to create all of these keywords into a single word shortcut, I will write /prefer option set. And by default, it's going to ask me an option. So this is going to be my shortcut word. So I'll make this as 3D image. And I'm going to press tab. It's going to ask me to write the value. And inside value, I'm going to write all of those parameters that I regularly use. So I will write 3D, hyper realistic, lifelike, detailed. And I'm going to press enter. So now Midjourney will always read the custom word 3D image as 3D hyper-realistic, lifelike, detailed. So if I want to add, let's just say, imagine Batman and Spider-Man hanging out, let this be my default prompt. I'm going to give the same command now, but going to use our custom option. So we had set 3D image as that option. I'm going to write --3D image and give the command again. And this time Midjourney bot is going to replace that custom option, that -- thing, by the string of parameters. So instead of writing 3D image, it has actually given 3D hyper-realistic, lifelike, detailed. So you can save a lot of time if you regularly use a certain set of filters. Now let's just say that I don't even want to type this 3D image again and again. Like there are some commands that I regularly write. Let's just say that you want to create a batch of images, which are probably in 2:3 ratio. So you can actually go to prefer, suffix, and you can now add a value, let's just say AR 2:3. So now your suffix is AR2:3. It's going to be attached to every single prompt that you use. Now let's just see the images that we received earlier. Oh, it looks pretty awesome actually. We have this one version where Spider-Man is without his mask and he's sitting with Batman. Awesome. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so the next command is super important and it's called word weight. Sometimes you give a series of parameters, but you want Midjourney to prioritize a certain word. So if I write Batman, oh, let's not just go with superheroes. Let's just do this. A dog chasing a sports car in space. All right, I'm going to press enter. This is going to be our default command. Now in the second version, I'm going to take and notice how it has attached AR2:3 because that is our suffix. So I'm going to copy the same command, paste it here. And so to use word weight, you have to use colon twice. So if I go to a sports car in space, let's just say I want to emphasize more on the sports car, I'm going to press colon twice, make this weight as 5, okay, and put double colons on the dog and maybe make this at 2. So in this case, my priority is given to the sports car. I've given 5 to sports car and 2 to the dog. Now let's see what happens. Also, we've got our image. So this is what it has created by default. So there's a dog in the car and he is in space, sort of floating through. All right, our image is at 31% and I can already see that it has emphasized the sports car. Like in the previous image, a dog was given more priority simply because it came first. But here in this version, you can't even see the dog. Like notice how the dog has just been removed from the image because I feel like the weight was 5:2, right? So you can see the difference it makes, and obviously you can fine tune these things one by one. But yeah, these were some important commands that I feel every person should know. So we covered word weight, suffix, option set, we covered stylize, we covered the no command, we also covered aspect ratio and test, and some interesting keywords like hyperrealistic, 3D and lifelike. Now to become better at Midjourney, you have to take inspiration from people who are already giving really cool prompts. So if I type Midjourney showcase, you will see a community showcase of people who are using Midjourney in the most creative ways possible. So you can see all the images that they're creating and you can see their prompt as well. So when you see that, oh, ultra detail, photorealistic, this is the kind of output that you can get. So you can take clues from multiple images and start using this in your own personal projects. I personally feel that the free plan just has 25 images. That is why I've invested in the pro plan, and it does not cost too much. I feel like it's a pretty good investment considering that I have learned so much simply because I have the option to use this regularly. And to be honest, this is just the beginning. Like in 2023, I feel like every person should know how Midjourney works, and we're at version 4. I can't even imagine what's going to happen by version 9 or version 10. But you should just save these images, look at these prompts, and try practicing it in your Discord. Make sure that you have your own personal server. In fact, there's one more trick where you can upload your own images, and if you take any of these images, right click and copy this link, you can feed those links. So you can upload your own face, copy the link, paste it here, write comma, illustration, cartoon, lifelike, photographic, whatever it is, and it's going to use your images as reference. So if you feed 10 images of your face followed by a few parameters, you can train Midjourney on your own personal set of images as well. Moving forward, we're going to have a lot of videos around ChatGPT and Midjourney and a lot of other tools, so make sure you subscribe and like this video. Tell me in the comment section what you'd like to know. If you're here for the first time, my name is Ansh Mehra and I usually talk about design and technology on this YouTube channel. In fact, we have a free course on UX design. It's a 15-episode course that takes you through the entire basics for free in both Hindi and in English. I will paste the link in description. If you make your own Midjourney images, make sure you put them on Instagram and tag me on @anshmehra.work. I hope that you learned something interesting from this video. Keep designing awesome stuff and I will see you next time. If you like this video, make sure you click on like and hit the subscribe button. I regularly upload videos on UX design, marketing and storytelling.